Hi, this is Mark at Ding Dong's Garden. I wanted just to take a few minutes here in late summer and walk around and talk about what I think would be some very interesting willow species to grow as a bonsai. And here we're going to start with Scarlet curls. Now, a lot of times there's no need to have a plant that naturally grows curls because you can create that when you're doing a bonsai. But in this case, it's such a stunning color and a stunning curl, be a hard one to pass up on. And here at the base, you can kind of see what the trunk of the bonsai would look like and how those would shape outwards. And then you can see the offshoot stems here. The base of the bonsai would be a dull brown, but the branches would all be a very bright red. It's got larger leaves, so you'd have to do some management on your leaves, some pruning in order to get a smaller leaf size, but what a neat tree. Another variety that sports curly branches, just like Scarlet curls, but it's got a golden color here. This is Sunny Twist. And I think Sunny Twist has the most crazy branching I've seen on any of our 5 different curly willows here. And this is Ram's Horn willow, and I can't think of a willow with a more interesting leaf for a bonsai than Ram's Horn willow. I mean, look at those leaves. It's almost the exact opposite of Sunny Twist or Scarlet curls that we talked about earlier, where the branches were contorted, but here it's the leaves that have the twist in them, and it's just such a neat tree. And you can imagine if you prune it well as a bonsai, you'd have this kind of very, very interesting canopy. And this is Rosemary willow, and I've seen Rosemary willow bonsais before, and they're beautiful. It does look exactly like rosemary, but it's not. It's a willow, and it has these very, very long, slender, graceful branches, and you can get more branching out of it. So if you were to manage your bonsai and create the shape that you wanted, you get this really unique foliage on it. And this is a fantail or fishtail or dragontail willow. And it starts off like any other willow. You can see down here that you have leaders coming out of the trunk that we coppice every year. But as you go up, you can see that it's kind of mutated into a bunch of branches that are fused together. Moreover, this is a willow that produces a catkin. So you could see here that the catkin that it produces is quite interesting as well. So I'm not quite sure the best way to manage this as a bonsai, and clearly the leaves are a little big to make it happen, but boy, that would be an interesting trunk to start with, where you have a flat trunk that is fused together by a bunch of different branches. And obviously the color would change over time, but it might be very interesting to start out with that shape, and then you get a lot of contortions within that and after that. And another one of my favorite trees in general, and one that I think would do fantastic as a bonsai, is Dwarf Arctic willow, also known as Arctic willow. And we're here at the top of the willow at the very ends of the branches, and you can see how small the leaves are. So you wouldn't have to do any kind of pruning to try to get a smaller leaf profile in your bonsai. This is just natural for this tree. And if we come down here to the base of this tree, certainly not a bonsai, but you can see you're gonna get a good sized trunk here. So you could induce some contortions into here, and it's gonna grow like crazy, like all willows do if you give it enough water. And all the leaves that come off of this willow are going to be tiny. It's just a natural, it's a natural dwarf type leaf. So this is dwarf Arctic or Nana willow. It's got a naturally dwarf leaf, and it would be a very fun willow to try to turn into a bonsai. So we've looked at some willows that have curly stems, curly leaves, small leaves, but now let's look at a weeping type that it's really one of my favorites because the colors are so nice. This is golden weeping willow, and we can look at the trunk here, and the color of the trunk would fade over time, so it would turn brown, but the stems emanating from it are all going to be yellow or gold if you keep it pruned. And then it's got a weeping habit, so it won't weep immediately, but as it grows, it will bend towards the ground. And with some pruning and management, you could get the leaf size back down to a smaller size. But what pretty colors, like a deep green, and then the yellow that goes with the name of golden weeping willow. And the last one we'll look at today is Nancy Saunders. And similar to the dwarf Arctic willow or Nana willow, Nancy Saunders sports a very tiny leaf, so it'll be dwarfing leaf size no matter when you grow it. But a little bit different from the dwarf Arctic willow is that it has kind of a more traditional leader and then sub-branching method. So you can kind of see where this would go in terms of a bonsai. And looking down here at the base, it grows very fast. This is a fast grower. You can see the growth that's been put on here just over the last year. You know, the base is brown, just like any tree turns after a while, but the branches emanating from that trunk would be a brownish red. So you get some color, and then these delicate tiny leaves would just look great on a bonsai. So those are some willows that I believe would make an interesting bonsai or great for experimentation. And like all willows, they're very easy to root. So if you just need cuttings, you can get them from us for a few bucks, and then you could experiment with these over time. And then of course, once they start growing, you could take cuttings of the original plant that you have, and so you can have an infinite supply of these willows to work with by just purchasing one cutting in the beginning. Thanks, and have a great day.